Welcome to the Bold Analysis. My name is Frank. The decision by William Ruto to incorporate ODM as a party in the affairs and management or running of this country, by extension by nominating some members of the ODM party into the cabinet and allies of the former Premier Raila Odinga into the cabinet, is going to have serious political implications and ramifications, and especially realignments in terms of the party politics that we witnessed in this country. And by extension, it will not be a surprise if we see some parties will die, or it will give birth to new political alignments or parties in the run-up to the 2027 general elections. The almost immediate ramification or implication that we saw was the recent turbulence that we are witnessing within the Western region politics. Already, just I think it was 2 days after the nominations, or a day after the nominations, that we saw leaders who are allied to the Trans Nzoia governor George Natembeya meet and say that they are meeting to draft a new Luhya caucus, or a push that will have Luhyas represented in government. We all know these political parties, they tend to be used, or this call for regional unities, it's a call that is tend to be used mostly by politicians in order to hoodwink the electorate that we are out for the best interests of viewers. But that is not always the case. So, in this analysis, I just want us to have an overview or an overlook into some of the political implications that this move is going to have in the affairs and management of some of the political parties in Kenya. Number one, the first implication that this had is in terms of the regional politics that I've tried to explain within the introduction. Already, we've started seeing the politics of mtu wetu or watu wetu are being sidelined or incorporated. That was the call in that Luhya MP's caucus meeting that included even the ODM Secretary Generals Edwin Sifuna, former CS Rashid Echesa, Trans Nzoia Governor George Natembeya, among other host of other leaders from the Western region. And this is not only in Western region, we've also witnessed this in Mount Kenya, where some members of the UDA party are starting to feel like they are being left out of the UDA ship. And now, there are already discussions of how there are plans to come up with other political parties or join other political parties to champion a unity cause for such regions. Malala surprised me when he came out and said that he is distancing himself from the decision of his party UDA to incorporate ODM into the government, and so termed that rather as opportunistic politics that them as leaders from the Western region, they are not going to agree with. This has brought a lot of tension within the UDA party. Today, for instance, we saw youths that seem to have been mobilized charge and move towards the UDA party headquarters and try to move out the self-proclaimed Secretary General of UDA, John Halende, who said that henceforth Malala has gone against the party values, the stand of the party, and therefore he was rather taking on the leadership of the secretariat of the party, that is the Secretary General of the party. This one, I just want to show you a video of how the events proceeded thereafter.
Therefore, I wish to announce that we are going to have a National Executive Committee meeting, NEC meeting, and it's an emergency meeting on Friday to resolve the matters that have emerged in the party since yesterday. I wish to assure all our members that as the NEC, we shall make sure we resolve those matters in a fair and best way possible.
Tumekubaliana kama jamii ya Mulembe kwamba tuweke tofauti zetu kando za kisiasa, tuungane, tutembee kama nyumba moja. Hiyo mmekubaliana na hiyo? Resolution ya pili, tumekubaliana kwamba mkutano huu hauna shida na mtu yoyote ambaye ameteuliwa kwa nyadhifa yoyote ya serikali, kwamba sasa ile kitu tunataka ni accountability nao viongozi ambao wako kwa serikali. Viongozi wote ambao tuko kwa serikali, kwamba tuwe na accountability kwa watu wetu.
But in this specific one of UDA, I tend to think that there might be two factions here. One, there might be a faction that is close to Rigiji, that is the deputy president, and then there must be a faction that is close to the president, that is William Ruto. That is the unrest that we are seeing in UDA. It is not just a normal political unrest, it's something that has been there. You know, the other time when Cleophas Malala traveled to China on a benchmarking trip, when he came back, he issued some kind of contradictory press statement in regards to some affairs at the party. And some people are saying that, you know, Malala's stance by then seemed to have had the blessings of the deputy party leader Rigiji, who also in the recent past has not been having it easy or has not been sitting pretty well with the fact that there was an intention to bring in ANC into the Kenya Kwanza or into the UDA in order to form a single political party that, and also for the Kenya, that would see to it that the UDA party has two deputy party leaders. So there are developments that have been there. In another event that we've seen, just still on this regional politics, in a case of Western politics, we've seen serious cases of realignments that are in the offing. Of course, there are tensions, especially now with the nomination of Wycliffe Oparanya to the cabinet. There is a run here and there on who is going to succeed Wycliffe Oparanya as, for instance, the next deputy party leader of ODM. They believe, the people of Western or leaders from Western believe that that is a slot that should remain with them since it was held by one of them. And Fernandez Baraza as the governor of Kakamega County is likely to be a victim. I'll not be surprised, for example, if somebody like Halwale, that is Boniface Halwale, the current senator of Kakamega County, goes back to ODM and tries to seek election as the governor. He has declared that he wants to be the governor of Kakamega come 2027 and try to seek the governorship of Kakamega using an ODM ticket. If the optics in play allow for the same. And I saw somebody suggesting somewhere that Alola is very strong and mature politically. You know, he's been with ODM. It's just that he had to shift to UDA in order to get the senatorial seat or to relay a political message to the ODM party leadership. So in that case, maybe if ODM decides to set on him to be the deputy party leader, but that's a decision that is likely not to sit well with some of the founding members of the ODM party who will see that they've been in this party or they've been loyal to this party for quite some time now, and now they're not going to be given these positions. Already I saw Malava, I think that is Malava MP, in a meeting, in a photo session with Raila Odinga, and there are whispers that he might be also considered for the deputy party leader in case this lot gets back to the people of Western Kenya. Anyway, you know, it's a matter of trying to wait and see what will be the development. That's why we've seen the Kakamega deputy governor, Ayub Savula. I think Ayub Savula came on a DAP ticket and is deputizing Fernandez Baraza within Kakamega County. He has boldly come out and try to kill any move that would likely be able to see the likes of Boni Halwale coming back to the party and trying to make a political move to come to ODM party in order to be given the gubernatorial ticketship. Because if that happens, that Boni Halwale becomes the governor of Kakamega County using the ODM ticket, then what is the political feature of somebody like Ayub Savula? I know Ayub Savula really wanted to be the governor of Kakamega County in 2022, but he was advised, that took the intervention of Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga in the run-up to those elections, that he deputizes Fernandez Baraza, such that after Baraza completes his term, he can now go for the governorship. So he's trying to possibly try to block a move that would see the likes of Boni Halwale come in here. Maybe just to get a snippet of Ayub Savula's statement on the same.
Prior to holding the meeting that has taken place today at Golf Hotel, last night I consulted the Azimio leader Raila Odinga, who was in Mombasa, on whether to attend the meeting or ignore. He gave me express instruction to lobby all members of parliament from Western to skip the meeting, both from Azimio and non-Azimio MPs, because the meeting was not going to discuss anything tangible in regard to the Luhya community. If there are issues regarding development, a budget of a country is not done by a Secretary General of a party. Budget is done by the executive, comprises ministers, and is taken to Parliament for approval. It is not discussed in a hotel. The meeting agenda was to discredit the current leadership of leaders in Western Province, led by Prime Cabinet Secretary Wycliffe Musalia Mudavadi, Speaker of the National Assembly Moses Masika Wetangula, and the current nominee for cooperative slot Wycliffe Oparanya. Those are our current leaders in government. We are standing by those leaders, and it has been displayed today.
It's not just in the western part of the country alone. The coast politics, the entry of Ali Hassan Joho, the former governor of Mombasa County, into the cabinet or into the government is already causing political jitters. With leaders from the coast, some of them, this news not sitting pretty well with them. This played out when President Ruto was on a tour, when Ruto rather was on a tour of the coast. And when Muhammad Ali Jichopevus took the occasion to the podium and said that he was trying to warn Hassan Joho not to behave in a way he's been behaving in the past, he was heckled. Of course, his statement was a politically targeted statement. They know that with the return of Hassan Joho, then he's, somebody like Ali, that is Jichopevu, he's contending to be the governor of Mombasa come 2027. There is Abdul Swamad, who is in his first term the governor of Mombasa. Then there is the Yala MP, who is also the vice chair of UDA, Hassan Omar, who also wants to be the governor. There is former Kisauni MP Ali Mbogo, who is also eyeing the governorship seat as well. So the return of Joho, and Joho's return is also quite strategic to William Ruto. For quite some time now, William Ruto has been trying to court the coastal region. This is one of the strongholds of the ODM party. William Ruto knows that. That's why he tried rewarding them with a position of a minister, cabinet secretary, I think it was given to Salim Vuria, Aisha Jumwa. You know, he's been trying all sorts of means to try to win over that coastal region. So if at all ODM and UDA work, or Ruto and Raila work towards 2027, then that will be a good or a great bolster move for Ruto, because he can now convince Ali Hassan Joho to campaign for him within the coastal region, or to push or vote for him within the coastal region, such that Ali Hassan Joho can continue being the cabinet secretary if at all Ruto forms the next government after 2027. And that one will throw the political relevance of the likes of Mohaji Chopevu into oblivion. Remember, Mohaji Chopevu, for his first term in parliament, he was on an independent ticket. Then in his second term, he came through the UDA ticket. But his strength within the coastal region politically has not been measured beyond nearly his constituency. So that's why you saw that kind of heckling, that kind of trying to win over the favor of the president. The other implication of this is that we are seriously now going to witness, and we are already witnessing, political jitters within the party. In ODM already, there are muted talks of division on the party leadership, especially the party leadership now that Raila will be moving to the AUC. Of course, there have been talks that Raila met some section of ODM leaders in Coast yesterday, with some sections saying that Raila is likely preferring over Abdul Swamad to take over the deputy party leader, replacing Hassan Joho. And there were also meted talks that Simba Arati might also likely to feature in the position of a deputy party leader. But in all this, Ruto seems to be the biggest winner, because for one, he has managed to destabilize or disorient the ODM leadership, because by supporting Raila Odinga to be the AUCC chairpersonship, it means that ODM will now go for a new party leader. By nominating both Hassan Joho and Oparanya to the cabinet, ODM will be seeking for new deputy party leaders. And by nominating Opiyo Wandayi also to the cabinet, ODM will be seeking for a new minority leader. So ODM is quite in a familiar path, and they don't know whether the next leaders that they are going to get will be likely able to stand with the party the way the people who have been nominated to the cabinet are likely to stand with the party, or have stood with the party in the recent past. Of course, I've told you that this one has already seen talks of muted panics within the ODM over these slots. Equally, this one is likely to be witnessed within UDA, especially if it is found that Malala went against the party position. Then he's likely to be replaced, if that is at all he went against the party position. And also already, there is a section that is alienated to Rigathi Gachagua. They are also likely to cause a turbulence within the UDA party. Even if they leave, they will not leave silently. They might cause some political turbulence. Also, this move has something on the Mount Kenya equation. You know, the Mount Kenya equation here, it is quite a hot topic to talk about. I know the kind of emotion that it elicits, especially now the move to bring in Raila is seen as a move to shove away Rigathi Gachagua. Of course, there are talks of intended impeachment motions against Rigathi Gachagua. These are talks that are there. So, the original intention, maybe politically, of Ruto bringing in Raila was to balance that Rigathi Gachagua Mountain Kenya politics equation thing. And he has also moved in another move to at least see to it that each county in the Mount Kenya region gets at least a cabinet secretary. And in the event that Rigathi Gachagua bowls away with Raila or Mudavadi on Ruto's side, then Ruto is likely to pull a political card come 2027, where he might prefer to get a deputy president or a running mate from either the Western or Nyanza region. That might likely play out in the event that Rigathi Gachagua bolts out. And if Rigathi Gachagua bolts out, he is likely to bolt out with the support of Mount Kenya. And in that instance, then I don't think if it will be politically sound maybe for Ruto to pick a running mate from Mount Kenya, especially at a time that he will feel that he now has the coast, he has Nyanza, and he has the western region. We are likely to see the kind of working partnership that we saw in the run-up to the 2007 general elections. But we have to be careful with this, that the only problem that this is likely to cause is that in as much as that they are saying that this broad-based government is a government of unity that is aimed at uniting Kenyans, it is likely to create a political problem of an equation of one versus us versus them, or 1 versus 41. So this is still not good, especially if Ruto is not able to rally Rigiji behind his back such that he can hold the mountain together. Thank you for watching. That marks the end of our analysis.